that illustrates how to apply weighted average method to calculation of cost of goods sold. For perpetual system, it's called the moving average because the average is constantly updated with every purchase. So, so for example, you go over the, I again just kind of reformatted our program. The data is still the same that we saw in the previous two exercises, the underlying data. So we're looking at the very first sale. So what price should we look? We should calculate the weighted average of cost of goods manufactured, which in this case is going to be simply this layer plus this layer, right? This is cost of goods available for sale, divided by the available units, which in this case, this plus this will give us the average average price per unit for cost of goods available for sale. So then when we know the average price per unit, which you calculate it the same way you'd calculate your GPA, you multiply it by the units sold in this case. And ending inventory in this particular case is simply what you started with, which is cost of goods available for sale minus cost of goods sold. In this case, 1,468,875.
Can we please go? Meir? Ashley. Come on, quick. I have to get to the dentist too. Come on. Please.
All right, so this was the average here. This is to the first sale. And then the second sale, the average stays the same because it's based on the still cost of goods available for sale because there were no intervening purchases. So I'm going to take that, multiply average price by number of units. All right, and ending inventory, of course, number of remaining units, which is in this case 7,500 plus 2,250 minus these two guys, minus this, multiplied by the average cost. So the ending inventory is 1,237,500. All right, then you have another sale. So on February. So again, it's 8,250, the average price. Not this times the average cost will give us cost of goods sold. Number of remaining units again. So the inventory is still going to be in this case 15,000, which is the remaining units from prior month, minus units sold times 8,250. So the ending inventory 113,750. Then we have another purchase. So once another purchase occurs, you need to recalculate the weighted average. So you may want to somewhere here, let's make another line, and just to keep track of remaining units, so that we know how to properly calculate the new moving average. So remaining units now is 15,000 minus 1,500, and of course they were carried over 8,250. Right? So once we purchase it, the new moving average price is going to be 54,000. It's going to be what the purchase price, which is in this case this number, 4725 plus 13,500 times 8,250 divided by the sum of 54,000 plus 13,500. So this is 8650. So the next sale will have to take into account that purchase price, that new price. So next sale is 27,000 units. So it's going to be 27,000 times 8650. and the remaining units in this case will be, I mean, the remaining cost of sales will be the beginning remaining units plus 54,000 minus 27,000 times 8650. So that's we have that as the ending inventory in that case. And then the next cell again, we'll just take 8650 as the price times units sold, and then this will be again this plus this minus this minus this. These are the remaining units times 86. So this is my ending inventory for this particular. So moving on to March, we have another purchase of 89.50. So we need to recalculate weighted average price. Right now we have 15,000 units before this purchase sitting at the average price of 86.50. So we need to recalculate the average price. So what's it going to be? Well, it's going to be equals 15,000 times 86.50 plus 45,000 times 89.50 divided by the sum of 45,000 plus 15,000. So it's 88.75. All right, so next time we calculate the sale, we're going to calculate the sale at that average price, which is in this case here. This times 30,000, and the cost of ending inventory, of course, now is in this case will be what we started with 15,000. We added 45,000 and subtract 30,000 units times 88.75. Okay, so then we have another purchase. So let's recalculate our remaining units. So now the new remaining units is what? We have started with 15,000, we bought 45,000, we sold 30,000, we got 7,500. That we have 37,500 units. After this purchase, now before the purchase, we had 30,000. Remaining. Okay, so this 30,000 is sitting at 88.75 average price. So we're going to have now a new average cost calculated, which is going to be, because we have a new purchase, 30,000 times 88.75 plus 7,500 times 90, and divided by the new number of units, 37. The new one is $89. So next time we calculate a sale, we'll take this $89 and multiply it by the units sold, which in this case is 26,250. And the remaining inventory is going to be 37,500 minus number of units sold times $89. All right, so that's pretty much it. And the final remaining units is this minus 26,250, which is 11,250, and we already calculated the price, and the final ending inventory is at 1,001,250. And that's pretty much it.